Meteorologists use sophisticated tools or weather instruments to collect data about the weather so that they can make forecasts to help us stay safe and be prepared. And they use these instruments to track weather over time, to study weather patterns, so they can make really, really informed forecasts for us. So the first instrument that we've already talked about, a thermometer, and that measures the temperature of the air, how hot or cold it is the temperature. And then a weather or wind vane, and that identifies the direction of the wind. And if you are flying a kite or throwing a paper airplane, you might want to know exactly which way the wind is blowing. Because if you throw your paper airplane and the wind is going in the direction you are throwing it, it's going to go even farther. If you are a pilot flying an airplane, you might need to know what direction the wind is going. If you are flying against the wind, so the wind is pushing you back. You know how when you're walking on a windy day, you can feel it pushing you? If a plane is flying against the wind, it's going to need to use more fuel because it's going to have to work harder. So that's something that pilots often need to know. A rain gauge. A rain gauge is something that's just like a fancy measuring cup that collects rain, sleet, snow, or hail to show how many inches of precipitation. So if you want to put a measuring cup out in your yard the next time there's a forecast for rain, you could measure how many inches of precipitation we get that day. When you listen to a meteorologist on the news or online, they often will say how many inches of rain we've gotten for the month, just to let us know, is there enough rain? How are our plants doing? Are they getting enough rain? So now in a journal or on a piece of paper, I want you to draw the tools we've learned about and then write and tell me about them. So draw them and label them and then describe them. So you see here a student did a thermometer. I love how the student drew the thermometer and labeled every 10 degrees and then colored in red to show that that thermometer is 30 degrees Fahrenheit. It looks like that they also included that 32 degrees is freezing, that 90 degrees is very hot, and 75 degrees would be very comfortable to be outside. And they labeled it as a thermometer and then even told me it's used to measure the temperature in the air. This would definitely be an E assignment right here because they included all of that great information. And then you see the weather vane or wind vane. They've labeled it north, south, east, and west, and it identifies the direction of the wind. It tells us what direction the wind is blowing. And they've even reminded me that it's called a wind vane. And then the final instrument is a rain gauge. It's used to collect rain, sleet, snow, or hail, and they drew a wonderful picture here and even showed me the lines on it to show how you can measure how many inches of rain. So today, if you can get a piece of paper, get some crayons or colored pencils or markers, and please send a picture if you do a great work like this. Can't wait to see.